Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. The market reverted and the sellers were in control for pretty much the entire session today, actually, from that Globex high. So the scenario that I had presented, that if we reach this high in Globex, we may just find ourselves in a very strong downswing by the time we were to come online for the opening. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. Now, what is it in terms of this little bit bigger picture? Again, from the top, we remain in an intermediate third wave down. So, and that third wave down will consist of 5 waves of minor degree. The count that I am pretty much going to stick with for right now is that we have completed minor wave 1 and 2 and started minor wave 3. To that particular count in labeling, this kickoff is picture perfect for a third wave, a minor third wave, and within it, we're also within an intermediate third wave. So in essence, right now, we're in the 3 of 3 move. If I break this down, we're getting ready to start to enter the 3 of 3 of 3 move. The third of the third of the third. So again, in the context of an Elliott wave move in a 5-wave structure down, and within it, now we're falling into the third wave. All the way along, I've always discussed that the third wave under Elliott guidelines and observations is normally the longest and the strongest out of waves 1, 3, and 5 within an impulse move. If we've done 1 and 2, next up is 3. So now we are actually in the section where I am going to be looking for, like it did here, that third subdivided. I'm looking for it now again to subdivide within itself, but it's in the third position and of a third. So that puts a little bit more power into it. And this, many people were kind of like, what's up? What's up? And again, I'm really relating it all to year end. Year end positioning, year end. What do we want for next year? What don't we want for next year? What are we doing? So they're cleaning up positions, basically. And I'm sure it's much more involved in that. Plus, we have an expiration tomorrow. So we have just normal trading going on in terms of where do we think what happens on Friday and positioning towards that. And that would be option traders. That's premium traders. They're going to be with us every single day. And for a different reason. And the trading is going to be different than what we may be looking at. In either case, price is going to determine what is going on. Now, again, I'm going to be looking at this as minor 1, minor 2, minute 1, and now we're within a minute wave 2. And just to kind of put it up very quickly, because I'm basically going to leave that other fibs on there for right now. So, but right now I'm just going to put, these are just inside for small wave 2. We've already gone up and touched 3A2, which is perfect. But then we also have 11,127 and 11,188. So I believe that if this is going to really flip and make a serious turn lower again, do this all over again tomorrow, I would not expect it to go its full potential before the next leg kicks in. So right now I'm going to keep that as a 1 and a 2, and the 2 is limited. Now, going back over, and because that's my preferred view for here in the NASDAQ, if I go over and I'm taking a look at what was presented to me, and as of yesterday, I continued to say it is plausible. It is possible. So right now, it remains possible. Because if we're, again, counting that this is a 3 and this is the 4 on a minute level, and then putting the 5 down here and the minor wave 1 down here, it puts us in a little bit bigger of a second wave. Okay, if I'm moving the minor degree 1 down a sequence, basically, it completes minor 1, and that works. So here's the whole gig. This 5 gets moved down to here. The 1 gets moved down to here. The 4 gets put over here. The 3 and that 5 come down, and these shift down a little bit. But basically, I could almost, yes, I would put the 3 there. The 5 comes down to here. The 3 comes down to there. The 4 comes down to here. So shifting everything down a sequence. That is possible. Then we would be looking for this larger wave 2. And that capability would mean we rally pretty much as hard as we dropped today. And that, yeah, I would think that should kick in that way. It began that way, to be honest with you, at 2 o'clock, so 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock this afternoon. They were pretty strong green bars, a little bit of selling into the close, but we're holding. We're holding well above. So again, that would suggest we're going to do an A, B, C. And what are our limitations? Well, the first, as an absolute bare minimum, would be we get to 11,220, I'm going to say. So 11,200. Then we have 11,430. That would be 382. 11,600 would be 50%. 11,780 would be 0.618. Again, here's the major questions. Yes, technically, this is part of the picture. Statistically, a wave 2 most often comes kind of into here. And it could show some strength. Now, this one, yeah, it had its moments. But as a wave 2, or even as a wave 4, pretty normal. As a wave 2, weak, 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 weak. So the selling has been with the trend back in control, producing periods where we have these stronger moves, but when it comes down to it, it never gets all that far to make it worthwhile. And here's why, in my opinion, because again, we're going on what the Fed has said. There's nothing really different. We're still fighting inflation. We still need to get it tighter. We still need to try and reach our goal, which, by the way, remains at 2% for right now. And, and then as well as dealing with everything else that we deal with, but interest rates are going to continue to climb next year. They are continuing to climb now. So again, just referencing the bonds, they're seeing year-end activity as well. So is the dollar. So are everything. Plus factoring in what it needs to factor in to get to tomorrow. Now, in the NASDAQ, it's too early for me to say. That's why I'm leaving this open for right now. But my preferred count in the NASDAQ continues to suggest -1, we're in a -2. Let's see how it plays out. Tomorrow is expiration. And so we've already gone through a lot today, down and then bringing it back up. So you're going to hear the expression gamma squeeze, and you're going to a gamma explosion. And that's what it comes into play. And it's not the last expiration of the year, but it's just the one before Christmas. So who knows? And this is all planned. So we're going to see, and we'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to take off that one. And this one, I believe it goes to a much different level. Let me go back out to my daily, and I'll be able to tell you. And I can't tell you. So this must be for the largest move that we have going on. Yes, and that's all the way down. So let me bring it back down to that 1-hour chart. And what we're going to be looking at is what can this third wave produce, the minor third. And I'm going to go back over to, come on. Yes. The extensions, and I'm going to go there, and that's not going to work. I like to be precise. That's the one. And there, and there. Okay, so already just within today's slide, we got 3A2, and that's of wave 1. Now, wave 3 should be equal to or greater than wave 1. So right now, the equal would be 10,089. That's where wave 3, minor wave 3, would be equal to minor wave 1. And I'd be looking for a little bit more. So that being said, 3A2, stop and a pause. Minute 1, minute 2, we start to drop into 3. That 3 brings us 10,400 maybe. We do a 4 and a 5, going out into next week. We do a finale here, we do a rally, and then we drop again, right? Because I'm going 1, 2, 3, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, 4, 5 of 3. That's the one I think brings us down into here. So, still more to come. Be prepared for both sides. Don't fall in love with either one. Play the short, of course, and today you kind of just stayed short. Even if you just use one micro. On moves like this, if your system or you can monitor it and keep a trailing stop, you took it off at the end of the day by yourself. And I'm sure the stop would not have been hit. So it was a extremely lucrative day, just keeping your hands off of your own mouse and letting a trade ride. All right. Moving averages are back in alignment to go down. See how quickly everything picked up. The 20, the 50, the 200 was starting to simmer down and then decided, nope, it's going to continue to go. But it is more flat than angle. Okay, over in the S&P. In the S&P, it's the same story. And let me take all of this off first. And we'll be putting it back on because I've neglected to come over here pre-update. And put my labeling in. My apologies for doing that. So the same count, we have a minor wave 2, more than likely complete, a minor wave 3 in progress, kicking off extremely well, in my opinion, and coming down beautifully. So here we have wave 2. Let me just kind of pull that up just a little bit. All right, so here we have it. Intermediate wave 2, starting of intermediate wave 3. We have minor wave 1, minor wave 2. As I anticipated, not going to say that I expected, but I thought we had a pretty high probability. We were held by the 200, the hourly 200 moving average. And as I also suggested, that should that occur, we might just see some stronger selling come in and take over. And it did. Once Europe opened, it was just, okay, downhill, downhill, downhill. By the time we got in there, it was super downhill. So same count. Minor wave 1, minor wave 2, minute wave 1, minute wave 2. NASDAQ, in true NASDAQ fashion, has to be running out in front of everybody. So they come roaring back in because, hey, it's high tech and this is what we do. High tech in transition, let me add. So I suspect the first thing I'll put up is the retracements for a small minute wave 2. So far here in the NASDAQ, the advance off of the low has already reached 50% of it. So we're already there. Wave 2 could be here, and we just start down again. Right now, we're just kind of hanging out and seeing what the other areas of the globe would like to do. So I'm just going to read what they're saying on CNBC. The Fed thinks the economy is stronger than it is. Yeah, okay. If they do, why are they so worried about it? In any case, I think we have a little bit more room, 38.69. Now, what I also want to go over, same deal, in if the alternate view, which was given to me by a subscriber and continues to hold validity, continues to hold possibilities and potential. And that would be that we shift this, this, and this down. So in other words, bringing it, the 5 and the 3 from here down to here, bringing the 4 over to here, taking this 5 and 1, bringing it over to here, and we're in process with the minor 2. Okay, so you follow that minor 1 gets shifted over to here, and we're just in the beginning stages. If that's the case, we run fibs from there to there, top of wave 1, or the start of wave 1, excuse me, to the bottom of wave 1. Here we have it. 382 would be 39.38. 50% would be 39.84. 618 would be 4,030. Are we gonna really go there again? Well, people thought here we would. We failed. Got above 39, but it took us. It took a lot to get it there. Because again, as I said, during the S&P, you kind of have to have a little bit more backbone in terms of what's happening to our economy, to the country, in terms of interest rates, et cetera, et cetera. And add on to that, that you have fund managers and traders that are making the same decisions as it relates to their positions. What do they want to take forward? What are they going to take into 2023? What do I want to include in 2022? Because don't forget, as independent traders, they're going to have to start deciding how much do I really want to pay, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot going on as traders, funds, and everybody else gets ready for the holidays and the end of the year. Tomorrow is an expiration. Now we can break it down even further, because the same traders, funds, and everybody else have positions in options up and down the line. So a lot still going on. And that's going to give us the volatility we want. And what everybody, I will just interject here, what everybody's talking about is like, what are we kidding? The VIX? We're kidding, right? This thing was down almost 800. The S&P was down well over 100, close to 150, I believe. And this VIX wasn't really above 25. So the validity, or what it's really based on, and what it's based on, to be honest with you, is, and from what I remember, options. It's based on the old OEX options and the premium. Now, there was an uptick, obviously, but still, the volatility to me is the speed at which this future is going to go up or down. The higher the volatility and directionally would mean the stronger that it's going to get. Same here. But if we're rising, volatility will go down. Right? Crazy world. All right. Because everybody, oh yeah, up is positive. So I don't need to have to pay extra for things, but people do. Any case, I'm leaving it here, but if we had to pull it all down, those are the markers. Again, if it truly is, I would expect it to at least be up here to here. before we again turn and move sharply lower. In favor of the preferred count is the start. Can a fifth wave look like that? Yeah, it really can. But I'm taking it as wave one because of its consistency. Its consistency of just gone, gone, gone. This is selling with a purpose. We don't know particularly what that purpose is, but this is selling with a purpose. This is what I mean. You know, we get them intraday. That's what I mean. There's a reason. There was a reason. There was a reason. And whatever it relates to, there was a reason here. Same one that we did there, just comes back here. All right. So for tomorrow, expiration. Tomorrow also, forgot to mention before, we do have durable goods and personal income and outlays and new home sales. So durable goods and personal income, those are both at 8:30 Eastern, new home sales at 10. And I believe that we actually have a full day tomorrow. I'm hearing that no, that even the equity markets will be half day. I don't think so. And basically because the holiday, Christmas is on a Sunday. If Christmas Eve was tomorrow, then I would see a half day or a whole day. And so, but because the holiday will come on Monday, then I think we do have a full day tomorrow. Nonetheless, that's the picture. Here in the S&P, also, the market is fairly ready, I think, for the next move. I'm just going to put our next level. These are the extensions for that minor wave 3. On minor wave 3, we almost are here as well. Now, remember over in the NASDAQ, we did get it. But here, we almost got to 37.75. And that would have been a really nice move. That would have been good. Even more solid in my mind. As a fifth wave now, all we need to do is break that, and we did. But not by a whole lot. So I'm going to stick with what I have. Because I think there's definitively more. Before we go up there, I think there's more coming down here. So we have 37.75, and then below that, 37.31, 36.85, 36.50, 36.23, and then where minor 3 would be equal to minor 1 at 35.43. Now, I think that we come in a little bit greater, so maybe 3,500, maybe 34.50, and then that would be take care of minor 3, then put in a minor 4, and as we come down from minor 5, it's that minor 5 that I think could take us into 3,000, down to 29.80. So we might even get a little bit further with this minor third, maybe 3,400. But in any case, I think that the whole project, the whole third, can bring us down to that 3,000 level. And that would be the intermediate third. And then we have an intermediate 4, an intermediate 5, and we end up even lower than that. And I'd have to bring out some additional fibs from a different level. But the third wave, I'm not looking for it to drop that far, but I think we could get it down to the intermediate third. I think we can get down towards 3,000. Okay. That's where I'm going to end it for today. Number one, I'm going to wish everybody a very, very happy, joyous holiday. Either happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, have a great Kwanzaa, whatever your holiday is. Please enjoy it. Enjoy being with family. It's very important to share. And the next update will be on Monday, the 26th, when Globex reopens. And right now, my plan is to include an Eye of the Storm podcast on Saturday, and that'll update that larger picture. Have a great holiday, everybody.